Hey guys, so the Diablo 4 Season 4 update, Campfire update was a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to share my thoughts mainly on just the itemization update. I'm going to give a brief summary of the update. Kudos to Wildhead for giving a brief summary. I think maxworld.com has a good summary too, and I'll put the link in my description. This is going to be a very quick and basic overview. I'm not going to go into detail. There are many better YouTubers and Twitch people that understand the itemization a lot better. I just doing a very broad summary of it. And I did want to deep dive into one of them in specific because I think that change is the most interesting, or I think the most interesting or important. But yeah, these are coming in season four, which is now being moved to May 14th, which is fine with. I got plenty of games and other stuff to do, so I don't mind if they take their time, and I'm in no rush. I still need to finish season three, as I said, I take my time. I'm 2 months into the season. I still haven't finished the season journey, what it's called in Diablo. But I'm just going to kind of go through the basics here and just share this information. Maybe if you just want a quick rundown of the itemization changes. I'm not going to go into detail. They are so the base item updates. They're making the base item simpler. So hopefully you don't have to shuffle through so much affixes, which was a headache. Like 4 or 5 affixes now. Rares will only have 2. Legendaries will have 3. But you can add affixes to the item, so it's still going to be the same amount in the grand scheme of things. Crafting. Um, Only Sacred in Tier 3, that's good. Ancestral in Tier 4. I think they've said that before, but maybe now it's official. Because it didn't make any sense to have a Sacred drop in Tier 4 open world. So you can kind of see an example here. I guess I can kind of... Yeah, my pictures aren't really covering it. So they just kind of simplifies. They got rid of like the doing damage to someone on a Friday afternoon when it's raining. Everyone uses the Tuesdays joke, so I changed it up for you. Um, the other good news is legendary items will now drop from monsters 95 plus. So it seems like, from what my understanding, I never got to super high level, but basically the only way to get 925 is really killing the Duriel, from what I understood. Really, he was only the guaranteed 925 drop, and I can see that getting boring very fast. Forgotten Souls and other like items will now drop from just regular characters. Gold. Ubers will now drop in World Tier, not Ubers. Uniques will drop in World Tier 1 and 2. That's good. Another big one. This is probably my second favorite update. Is the Codex of Power. Now, when you, um, what's the word? Not disenchant. Salvage an item. It'll go straight to this book. Got the screen of the book with you. Um, I think this is great. This will also be great for when one day we can like change our skills. Make like loadouts or something would be great. All in all, this makes it. This was the reason I think there's really good itemization changes, but this was the most slog, boring, annoying aspect of itemization. It wasn't the best or the worst. It was the most annoying, having to hold on to all those aspects. Um, so yeah, that's great. Greater affixes. So from what I understand, is basically, when does this happen? I should have read this. It'll have 1.5x more powerful affixes. You can kind of see in the example here. 74 to 126. Basically, there's a chance for legendary items to roll. So basically, it almost, as you can almost see it, basically this is like legendary, and then this is like, I forget what it was called in Diablo 3, but like super legendary. So at some point, like this is your progression at the beginning, and then when you're like at late game, you'll almost only have gear that has these super greater affixes on them. You can't disenchant them. You cannot craft a greater affix. They have to just drop in the world. Um, and tempering is the one I really want to go over, but I'll skip that one for now. And then I think, yeah, the last one is the Masterworking. This is like the end game. This is like what you would do when you're... I think, yeah, you can only do late game, improves affixes, but I think to upgrade, to do this Masterworking, you need to collect mats and stuff from the pit, which is like an end game activity. You're not going to be... I guess you can't really upgrade your gear now as you level. What I understand, maybe I'm getting this wrong. But here's like an example of this. In every four ranks, so 3 times, so there's 12 ranks. Every 4th rank, it'll super upgrade one of your stats. As you can see for this one, it just gave you 40 more max health, but then it like tripled Yeah, 25% more max health here, and it's just going to be random. So basically, any of your affixes could be upgraded, and it can double upgrade. So like um, the affix that gets like the bonus upgrade could actually be the same one that got the upgrade at tier 4. The 8 your upgrade can be the same upgrade as your tier 4 upgrade. Hopefully that makes sense for you. I'm trying to keep this quick. But the big one I wanted to spend a little more time on was tempering. And I actually think this is the one where you add more affixes to your gear. And what really piqued my interest, and I wonder if that's because they're adding, I guess it's just through this tempering system. I could be wrong. It can drop from anything, so you don't have to you don't have to farm this off a boss or a certain mob. You'll collect these manuals. I wonder if these manuals will replace like the ancestral tab, because like now that ancestrals aren't being saved, anyways, they are for most content, but they have a durability to them, so you can only temper them so many times. But like if you look at this picture here, yeah, I'm not covering it up. What interested me the most was there are they're almost adding these weapon augments, and I think these are only for weapons. And they gave a necromancer example for like this bone builder, like your bone splinters project more. You your bone spear will shoot twice. Your bone spirit explosion size is bigger. Bone storm duration, and what I really like about this tempering system for your weapons, and I guess it might only be for weapons, maybe it's for other stuff, but the fact that these actually alter how your spell looks. And I know a lot of people just like damage increased by 50%. I think that is the most boring way to gain power. Like, I know you need it in this type of game, but when you visually get to see your character, I mainly play Druid, but let's just say for Bone, or not, for Bear Druid Pulverize, your Pulverize has two cast, or your Pulverize Explosion, the width of it's bigger, even though it's a pretty wide attack anyways, but maybe it shoots one forward and one backward, or, I don't know. But the fact that these augments are adding to these tempering manuals are being added to the game, and actually, it's almost like some legendaries, right? Some legendaries alter your gameplay too, like and even uniques. But I just like, like the Dolmen Stone. You know, the one that makes your boulder spin around your druid, or there's for rogue, it's the exact same thing, but your dagger ability, I forget what it's called, but it spins around you. There are legendaries that alter your abilities, but this is almost a third way now. Besides uniques and legendaries, there's now these manual augments, temper manuals. I don't know what the heck you want to call them, but they can also affect your gameplay and actually visually make your character look unique and different to maybe other characters. Yes, there's going to be there's probably going to be a best in slot or whatever, but for the people like me that like to make their own fun builds on their own, that maybe is just fun for themselves, maybe not the most efficient, but like Bone Spirit, I would love to get that Bone Spirit size, and maybe like you can put on, if you can put on both weapons, right? So maybe if you get 19.5 and 19.4, let's just say that's 40%. Your bone explosion size is now 40% bigger, so it's like covering a third to a half of the screen, and that just looks cool. And you can make a bone spirit build around just having the biggest bone spirit explosions ever. Um, that really is exciting to me, and I do hope that we'll have to. I mean, this is all written down and shown to us, and on paper it looks great. I guess we'll have to see how this works, this processes in games. The other big thing is like, yes, this looks amazing, but what if these are super rare? That'd be kind of annoying. But you want it, you don't want it so common that you just get them off every enemy kill. But you know what I mean. But yeah, these were. I just wanted to briefly go over the itemization updates. I'll put a link in the description for you here. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for season 4. I'm one of the weirdos that liked. I didn't mind season 3. It definitely was one of the weaker ones. I'm just not a fan of having like a pet. Seems like in the expansion we will have a follower system, but I'm not a big fan. I like my character feeling powerful, not like my little battle pet thing. Um, but yeah, let me share your thoughts down below. Your thoughts on the itemization changes. As me personally, I think the tempering system is the most interesting. Um, but it seems like they can only give us a glimpse, right? Because like for example, oh shoot, where was it? Where? Oh, here we go. Like this is just for bones, so like there's probably going to be like blood augments, pet augmentation. So like how are they going to buff your pets? And this is just for one class, right? So I'm excited to see like what the druid ones are, what the warrior, not warrior, barbarians, rogue, sorcerer. Because, for example, these augments are for bone. I'm assuming there's going to be like blood. I'm just thinking of necromancer because they gave us that example. There'd be a blood one, a minion one, maybe a curse one. I don't know, but that's a lot of options to change how your spells look. So, anyways, I'm excited for season 4. Maybe you guys are too. Maybe this is the turnaround. I've been playing Diablo 4 this whole time, so but I know the sentiment online has been mixed. So, anyways, I'm also looking forward to find out what the season theme is. I do like the season themes and try to pick a class based off the season. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.